Welcome to my channel, Crafting a Country Life. I'm coming on today to share a birthday package that I put together for my sister, Annette, at Nettie H Creates on Instagram. And I wanted to share the goodies that I made to give to her for her birthday. And I put them all into this gift bag that I picked up at Joann's a while back. Put this out of the way. It's pretty large. The first item that I created for her, and she's already opened this, so some of the packaging, has been previously opened, but I just wanted to share this little vinyl bag. And there's lots of different tutorials online that you can watch to see how to put these vinyl bags together. It's trimmed with some cardstock, and I stitched it on my sewing machine, top and bottom, and also on the straps, and tied it with some of those ribbons that you can pick up at Michael's. They come in a bundle. I think they're about $10 or so, but if you have a coupon, you can save a few dollars. I picked these up when they still had their 40% off coupon, so I was able to get it for about $6. Anyway, on the inside, I picked up, these have been on clearance recently at Michael's, so some beads to do some charms and such. I created there's a little shadow there, a faux leather bow with a dangle at the bottom. And what I did to attach the dangle was I hot glued a small jump ring in between the bow layers so that I could attach that. And then I packaged it up in some cardstock and cello bag. This is a folder with a goodie inside. Open this up. I put some, instead of putting sequins in here, I added some of the buttons galore and more button mix. It has some pearls and sequins and seed beads and different colors of buttons. And I did get that one, I believe, on Simon Says Stamps. I picked it up there. So I created this little, I used some Prima Shabby Chic papers to create this. And it has a couple of cards in the center, and it's glued onto the impresslets. I created a frame using an impresslets die and some little gold flowers from Hobby Lobby. And some more buttons and sequins are glued onto the front. And I finished it with a small little tie made with the dyed gauze that you can get at Hobby Lobby. And on the inside, there's a little package of charms. Okay. Right in the bag as well, I included an organza bag with some organza ribbon that has a gradient, and I did some die cuts using another impresslets die that I had, and oops, so hard to see those. Oh, take them out of the bag and show you. I used the Sizzix specialty paper that I picked up online. I think it's Magical Opulent Collection, or something along those lines, Mystical Opulent Collection. And it has some gorgeous pearlized and holographic cardstock in it. This has a white pearlized holographic finish. There's some of those. A matte gold. A silver holographic. That one's really pretty. And some smaller ones as well. Put those in the bag, along with a few of the packaging styrofoam balls. Okay, and those were all in this little vinyl tote. Move this out of the way. Okay, the next item that I created is a package that includes a vinyl pouch that has sequins in it, and this is stitched right into the cardstock. And then I left the top of the pouch open so that I could slip the sequins inside. then I glued that shut and added a strip of cardstock so you wouldn't see the glue inside there. And then behind the vinyl packet or pouch are two embellishments that have been fringe cut with my fringing scissors, and I added some banner and ribbon, or fishtail banners and ribbon at the bottom. So it's 3 layers with some fringing around the edge, and a tiny little vinyl stitch. I hand stitched the circle in the center. It's a double layer of vinyl. I hand stitched it, and inside are a few sequins and seed beads. A little hard to see with the shadow, but those were fun to make. Took a little time to do the stitching on those by hand, but I really couldn't imagine trying to stitch these on my machine. They're so tiny, I'm not sure that I could get my fingers underneath the presser foot to stitch them by machine, so I did them by hand. Okay, added a satin bow. And the next item in her birthday gift was a pouch that has been stitched, and I put some different embellishments into each section. These are some die cuts with some Dollar Tree flowers, sequin mix, different types of bows, cardstock and fabric, an assortment of different rickrack, and then some buttons. And at the top, there's a bag topper that I created with some of those similar die cut hearts, some paper napkin trim, thickers, and a flower with a doily behind it, a little bit of pom-pom trim. This is stapled on, so she can remove this and reuse it if she likes. And that's that. And the next thing that I included, I have this, is a set of book boxes. This was so much fun to put together. And again, I looked online at some of the different tutorials. Lots of people are creating these, and they all have wonderful directions and beautiful inspiration on all the channels that I looked at. Anyway, I created the box, and then each of the books, I think it may have been this one I featured in another video, as a standalone, but it is part of a set. So I'm not going to share the inside of that, but it does have some pretty little flowers from Hobby Lobby along the spine, and a shaker on the front with a bow that's been popped up with some foam. And there are some tiny beads, some bead string along the edge that I glued in with Beacon's 3-in-1 glue. And I added a few more flowers and a sentiment and tied it up with some netting, sparkly netting. Really had a lot of fun creating this set of books. Most of these papers are from the Sweet Story collection by Maggie Holmes. I mean, I may have included a few additional papers here and there, but most of it was from that collection. Again, some ribbon on the spine. I stitched all of the covers on these little book boxes, added some sparkles, stickles, and a little butterfly up here, sentiment. And then the edge has been secured with some ribbon, and I included a little tab on each side that's been stitched separately and then glued into the cover with an eyelet to get the ribbon through. And this one is filled with some felt flowers. I used a Sizzix Bigs die, the steel rule dies with the wooden covers to create these. And that's the second book. The third book is the spine. Has a little charm with a peach on the end. Really like this one. And a lobster clasp, so it can be removed. Spine has some glitter cardstock and some mini pom-pom ribbon and a tiny bow at the base. Cover has some chipboard pieces, some crepe paper, gathered crepe paper that's been stitched, a layer of netting underneath that, and then a few little, a sentiment and some puffy stickers. This one's been tied up with some seam binding from My Scrap Cabin on Etsy. And then lots of ribbon tassels inside that I put together for her. Some for Christmas, kind of a Christmas theme. Whoops. Second one here. Whoops. And this one here. It's pretty with a little bit of light colored lavender. Another Christmas theme, some red and gold. This one I especially like with Halloween. The ribbon clasps are very easy to use. It's been my first experience using them. Just clamp them with your jewelry clamp. You have to be careful when you're squeezing them not to crush the ribbon clamp. Maybe a little piece of cardboard, fold it over it, and then you can clamp it and it probably would keep it nice and straight. Love these. This last one is a silver with some velvet ribbon and so on. These were really fun to make. All right. And the last one in the set looks like this. It has some glittered stars that I punched out using a small punch. An AliExpress cabochon glued on the front with some Beacons 3-in-1 glue. Some origami folded rosette that I created and added some glitter. Some rickrack stitched, or actually this was glued, not stitched, around the edge. A sentiment. Here's the spine. And this one has some gingham ribbon as a closure. And inside I included 2 bottles of seed beads. She does like to create charms and dangles, so I think she'll love these. Here's the other container here. Just a little bit of twine on there. And I put some washi on the cap, and the top has a glittered die cut glued onto it. Okay. That's that one. Some other items. I wanted to share this crate, and I've done a crate like similar to this for another YouTube that I had uploaded, but I made this one's a little different. This is the one that I made specifically for her gift. And then on the inside I included a big bag full of handmade bows in different, some of them have 3 layers, others have 1 layer, some have a fishtail banner at the base, others have the fishtails coming out to the side. This one has the fishtails coming down at the bottom, and it's a double layer bow. Here's another. This is a triple layer bow. Some of these ribbons I picked up I've had these for quite a while. I picked them up at Dollar Tree. This one's really pretty. So that has a triple layer. Here's a triple layer organza bow, much smaller, and the fishtails are coming out to the side. So there's a whole bag full of different bows here. And what I used to make these is a product called the Zutter Bow It All version 3.0. And I bought this one for her as a gift. They're about $25. You can get them on Amazon. I have one for myself, and this is what I used to create all these bows. It goes very quickly. They have some good instruction online, as well as a really nice like a zip pouch to keep it in, and it's a very nice quality product. So I really recommend this. I'm enjoying using it, and it helps me get really perfect bows every single time. Many different styles, and you can make them in all different sizes. Oops. I have another gift that I included in the gift bag. I created my own charm for this as a lobster clasp, and I put it on the zipper. I picked up this zip pouch at Dollar Tree and added these charms that I made myself. and a ribbon tassel as well. And then inside there are just a few store-bought purchases. I picked up some dies from AliExpress for her. It's a bow die. And this is a flat bow die. This one is the 3D version. And then there's this one that creates a flat double layer bow. And a package of stickers and paper clips. Here, several different pages of different stickers. There's some label stickers and some little page flags. One. If there's anything else. Yep, there's one more package. She wrapped this one back up after she opened it. She said, "It's so pretty, I don't want to take it apart." So it has some very wide organza ribbon to tie it up with. And then the little card is a folio. Created this, and then you open this up, and inside there's a package of die cuts. I created a vellum coin envelope with some stickers to, whoops, go with that. Flip it over. It's just a few stickers and die cuts in there. And on this side, and then on the other side is a package of llamas that I die cut and put together. And this llama die came with stamps as well. So I included those in there. And then there's a little package of sequins that coordinate with the colors in the llamas. And a few cut aparts here. These are from the Eureka paper pad collection that I picked up at Joann's. And it coordinates really well with the Buenos Dias collection, which I also have. So I kind of mixed those two collections when I created this little folio. And then I just add an organza ribbon on the neck of this purchased die cut here. Okay, and then inside the tissue, there's a box of beads. This is from Michael's, and they've recently had these on clearance for 70% off, which is really a good price. This one has some little ice cream charms in it as well, and some findings along with the beads. And there's the back. And that, I believe, is the end of this gift bag. I hope you enjoyed watching this presentation today, and hopefully you found some inspiration. I'll be back with another video next week. Thank you for joining me. Bye for now.